Hi, it's Robin from Holloway Friendly. You might recognise me from our last video. We're back in sunny Gloucester. This will be the first of 3 short videos to share our key takeouts on our everyday language training, including our top tips on how to be easier to understand and how to communicate in a more engaging way with your clients.
We're going to start by looking at how to recognise jargon and what it means to use everyday language, using examples of aliens, bookies, and an imaginary world where insurance doesn't exist. Let's dive in. Firstly, why is it important to be easy to understand? Well, if people understand you, they're more likely to engage with you, trust you, and take your advice. And of course, there's consumer duty. Communication is one of the 4 areas that we've been asked to focus on by our regulators. In particular, they want consumers to be able to understand the options that are available to them so that they can make the right choices to get the best outcomes. So what actually is jargon? It's basically a set of special words that are used by a profession or a group of people which are really difficult for others to understand. So you might have heard some other unflattering terms to describe the word jargon. Gobbledygook, small print, legalese, weasel wording, and insurance speak. And it's safe to say you won't want to hear one of your clients describing the way you communicate like that. So where might your clients come across jargon?
It's pretty much every type of communication you'll use, whether you're writing or speaking. Social media, emails, phone calls, suitability letters, website and literature.
If you're hard to understand, it can be really alienating for the person that you're speaking to. And they might just feel too embarrassed to tell you if they don't understand you either. It's fair to say we use a lot of jargon in the financial services industry, often without even thinking about it. So let's imagine for a minute that insurance doesn't exist and a team are trying to invent how to market it.
So people are going to pay us for it. How should we describe what they pay? You know, the price, the cost to them.
Feels like we need a special word.
Yes, I've got it. Let's call it the premium.
Bit crazy, right?
So it's hard to imagine how jargon might make a customer feel. So how about we put ourselves in their shoes and jump over into the world of betting? A bookie lives and breathes these kind of words every day, but how many of them do you understand? How comfortable would you feel putting a round robin bet or a Yankee bet on at the races, if that's even what it actually is? Now, let's replace the bookie with an advisor. How many of these words would an everyday person understand? And how comfortable or confident do you think it would make them feel? So now let's look at what we see as the opposite of jargon: everyday language. So it really is as simple as it sounds. It's just like talking to a friend or a family member in a normal conversation. It's replacing the jargon with everyday words. Traditionally, in insurance, we might say something like, in the event that 3 premiums are missed, the policy will lapse. So the insurance words, or jargon words there, are premiums, policy and lapse. And it's also written in quite a passive way. So a few simple tweaks can be made to make it easier to understand. So you could instead say, if you miss your payments for 3 months in a row, your insurance will end. So premiums becomes your payments, policy becomes your insurance, and lapse becomes your insurance will end. We've also made it active, not passive, by using you miss instead of are missed, and your insurance rather than the policy. But more on getting rid of passive language next time. We've included a jargon buster in our guide to everyday language. For example, eligibility criteria becomes can you buy it? Benefit period becomes the length of time we'll pay you for, and sum assured becomes the amount of insurance you have. Well, we hope that helps you recognise and start thinking about the jargon that we use in insurance. Next time, we'll look more at everyday language and how it's not just about the words you use, it's about how you use them. We'll share some simple tips to help you communicate in a way that is more human, more engaging, and more conversational. So see you next time.